So, welcome to today's episode. In this episode, we will be talking about motivation, uh, as well as some World Tour racing that's about to come, like Tour of Flanders. That's going to be for you tomorrow.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's get going.
Uh, well, one of the reasons why we decided to go with this topic for today, it's because of you
Yeah.
and your hand. It's been very difficult for me to speak to you as a friend. You're always one words, never answering messages. It's very complicated. No, but I feel like it has to be hard, and it's a part of the process of being an athlete. There are many things that we cannot control. It's also affected me with the weather lately. I haven't been able to go on the TT for a month, and this Thursday I was really excited for it. And when I started being in the position, it was like I'm racing in 3 weeks. I'm just not gonna make it. And you obviously start thinking about it. It just kills you. So motivation it's key to success, and it will also help you in consistency. Now, as a coach, what's behind motivation? What keeps us going?
It's usually the goals that you set in the beginning of the season. That could be one of your motivations. Uh, the other one can be just the process of going there after some structured training. Uh, Most of the people get the dopamine just from training.
Mhm.
So unless they go out on the bike or they ride or whatever they run, whatever they trained for, uh, that's the mini goal that they are winning that day. So they need like a small win every day.
Yeah, I guess that understanding the workout can also help
Yeah,
with
I agree.
motivation. No, as a coach, if you just put the workout on Training Peaks or intervals, whatever site you're using, and the athlete does it, they do the workout, they finish like, done the watts, I've not done the watts, what am I doing? I guess that being the one that's telling, hey, we're doing this workout, the goal is to focus on this or stress this part of the aerobic system, then you also get a better understanding of what you're doing, and you can always just work towards that goal of the workout, because in the end, each workout, it's also a goal.
So having a plan,
Yeah.
a training plan,
Mhm.
as well as
Understanding it.
understanding it. Yeah, that's what I'm always trying to teach my athletes, is that it's really important to understand the whys.
Hmm.
Why are you doing that specific session? Why you are doing that specific intervals? Why it's 5 intervals instead of 4?
Mhm.
Why it's 30-30s and not LT
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best things about you, I'd say. With the athletes that I've spoken to, that you train them, we usually all agree with the fact that we know what we're doing, and I think that's something really valuable. And it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 PhDs, you still need to help the
Yeah.
others understand, and just let them know what they are doing and why they are doing it.
And this also helps with their motivation as well.
Yeah, of course, of
Because
course.
maybe you have like a bad day and you cannot do your intervals, but maybe that's actually a great day, because yeah, maybe you didn't hit the watts, but
Hmm.
you understanding what you have to do for the session. uh Maybe you do 10 watts less, but actually the stress that you're getting
Yeah.
is better than the session that
Hmm.
you had in your mind.
Yeah, sadly, it's part of the industry. Um, Watts are everything. People, when you post anything on any social media, if you go to the comments, it's just what is your FTP? What did you do? There's one influencer here in Girona that's called BC Let's Get It. Does it sound familiar?
Yeah.
He posted a reel 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was that he did the best 20 minutes of his life. He didn't post the power. it was full of comments. What did you do? What's the output? What's the weight? And everything. Just like, yeah, I don't know. It's
Everybody was interested
yeah, just a number. That's
in just
completely individual and doesn't matter to you. So I guess that these kind of things and social media also affects your motivation, despite being something that's how do I say it? Not in your daily life. Like it's people that you'll never meet. You it
yeah,
will not affect your life in any way, but we still get a lot of bad um how do I say it? Just bad vibes
yeah,
from
yeah.
social media.
But like yeah, watts are important, but like we talked about the the Zwift Academy test that they had for 4 minutes
Mm-hmm.
uphill. The guys who were deciding who gets the contract
Yes.
were not only looking at the watts or the watts per kilo. They were also looking because they had a start.
Okay.
So everybody was starting from the same line,
Yeah.
but there were athletes doing the same watt per kilo. But they went further for the 4 minutes.
Yes.
So that means they were more aero,
Yes.
or they were able to push more watt
Mm.
in a better position.
Okay. That's well, it's interesting. And then that's
So
what you're looking on World Tour.
yes,
Like not all World Tour riders have the watts that Poggi has.
yeah,
Usually it's more about knowing how to be in the peloton, what to do, when you have to do it. So yeah. Now just motivation is something that comes and goes. It's impossible to be always on the best shape of motivation.
mindset and
Mindset, yes. Then you just need to accept that you'll have dips. And I think that here's another moment in which a coach can really help on you, helping you understand, okay, it's fine, you've been having a bad week. There's nothing that we can do about, just life happens and the world keeps moving without us. Therefore, we just, yeah, need to understand that whenever it happens, let's embrace it in a way. Just accept that it will be a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month and just work from it.
yeah, try to cut your costs. Just try to do the best that you can. You
Mhm.
cannot ride 4 hours because you don't have the motivation, or you're injured, uh,
Yeah,
or you have illness, or I don't know. You have a family, you
yeah.
have a job, you have things to do. Just do you don't have to put the entire brick in the wall
No, no, no.
every day. You can only put some glue or something.
How has it been for you, in your case, to face the challenge of the hand?
Um, I could say it was fine, but I would lie.
Yeah,
It was,
like everyone.
yeah, it was really hard mentally. The physical part, yeah, you cannot dress, you cannot
Hmm.
do basic stuff, but also there's the mental thing that, yeah, everybody's riding around you, or you maybe don't find the motivation to do the things that you proposed uh, to do, not only in terms of training, but it because it affects your entire life.
Yeah.
Uh, if you have a habit that you cannot do, or you can partially do, or whatever, that will it's like a chain
Yeah.
reaction. It will affect your entire life. Like imagine for a second you don't have a job anymore. That's 8 hours just like that.
Yeah.
You have to fulfill the 8 hours somehow.
Hmm.
Maybe you are just sad because you don't have a job anymore, so you're not really uh, in the mindset to find a new job,
Yeah.
or you have the pressure of finding a new job, and it's on and on. It's
Mm.
the same in training. Uh, like yeah, I've tried to do my best to ride indoors, but it's riding indoors for me was already hard.
Yeah.
Doing it on a TT, as you know, it's
Yeah,
already harder, and doing it on a TT
a really bad position.
with a bad position and only one hand,
Yeah.
and yeah, there are many things that
But here is where we can start overcoming that dip, right?
yeah,
So you've gone from not being able to do anything to now, like these last weeks, you've been saying, okay, I'm just, the first week you were just trying to see what you could do. Then next week, started doing a bit of fat max. Now you only do fat max. You're also, you did plan a bit your 2 weeks before
yeah,
you can start going out, or maybe if it's 3 weeks from now, you've planned what you can do. It's obviously it will never be as great
yeah,
as, but that's a step, and your hand starts recovering. You see that you maybe if you don't want to gain weight, or if you still want to be able to do as many hours as possible, or you want to see your Strava really beautiful with hundreds of kilometers per week, then it's just something that keeps being there. And if you start doing things, let's say towards, in order to fight that dip, then you start overcoming it. And within days, if you have a clear goal and your mindset is where it's supposed to be, you're completely done.
yeah. I actually try to do like a mini plan,
Hmm.
to have like, yeah, uh, Monday I do this,
Yep.
so I have one key session, VO2, fat max, it doesn't matter. Then a easy one, then maybe again a harder one, and so on. But besides this plan, I've also tried to uh, plan my nutrition.
Yep.
That just motivated me to stay in shape. So I've been tracking all my food and trying to optimize my macros around the training.
Hmm.
It was just another thing to keep track,
Yep.
and that helped me, let's say, not necessarily with the motivation, but just staying consistent.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, it's maybe for you, it's not a goal to lose weight or gain weight, but
But
just,
if I
yeah,
wouldn't did that, probably I would have get really fat. Or
well, not really, really fat, but then you see yourself gaining weight or losing extra weight. And then you're like, ah, are you even losing more motivation? And that's, uh,
sometimes because of stress, and
mm,
like people respond differently to different stressors. For me, stress, it's usually uh,
not,
translates in eating more.
mm. Well, you, but then you also train less. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
it's,
it's like
yeah, it's, but that's one thing that you can do. Like you just maybe, okay, instead of focusing entirely on the bike, then you can also focus on the food, and you can also focus on learning something new.
yeah,
It's not always, you can, as we said in the training basics episode, you just have to switch your goals, and it's
exactly.
only for a month. After that month or 2 months or whatever it is, you'll be able to do it again.
Exactly. And since you mentioned that, I've also tried to have like another type of win, which I usually have. Uh, it's more like a learning win,
Hmm.
not necessarily training one. So I started to learn about shoes in depth and other things that I was interested in, and I never had the time to do it. Uh, yeah,
There are many things to keep yourself motivated. It's you need, but you also, you kind of need to work towards finding something that helps you
yeah,
stay motivated. It's something that will not come to you. Like you will not be there with your arms open and motivation will come. It's okay. You have to accept what has happened. Now you just need to find it. You don't need to do it fast. You just need to do it.
yes,
People just usually get stressed about, I need to find something. It has to be now, and you end up putting more and more stress. And we want things now and for yesterday, and that's not doable. And then you're just not able to find anything else, and it's life shit. Everything sucks, so everything goes bad.
yeah,
Now just take it easy, you know.
yeah. That's one way to put it. Also, I would say it's really important to understand that you have a bad period or
Mm.
bad session or bad week, or it doesn't matter, and just talk about it with the people that you uh, like,
Mm.
your family, whatever.
Mm.
It is just, it's a good option to take the weight off your
Yeah.
shoulders.
Unless we have a dip or something that really blocks us, we can also have a motivation dip or lose motivation because of training too much.
Yeah.
It's really hard. During these blogs, what have you found to be the best way to help athletes stay motivated throughout a blog? Let's say I you make me do 4 months consistently. I'm riding every day, just maybe taking 1, 2 days off every 2, 3 weeks. That will mentally it will be really hard to sustain. What have you been able to find
Uh,
helpful to for athletes?
I would say everybody is different and they respond differently to certain things. So, for example, I would say for some people, motivation will come if you take their thing that they love.
Okay.
So if you take the bike, so they cannot do it, they will come with a greater urge to ride the bike. Um, Also, for some of them, uh, maybe motivation is less structured training because they were doing it for
Yeah.
such a long time or for such a long period. They need like a free ride. They need like a camp where they don't think about doing any structured training.
Yeah.
They just ride.
Mhm.
That could be a good motivation booster. I'm usually doing that with my athletes if they have like a training camp, or well, it also depends on how long and
Yeah.
the type of athlete.
Mm.
But I'm a great believer in free riding your camp with certain things
Yeah.
that you
I
have
mean,
to
you can
do.
always adapt, right? And it's never easy to do a month of 40 hours per week on the bike or any on running. But this last year, I did my first actually entire week of proper resting. I didn't train, didn't do anything, just like a proper gamer. And when I got back, it was really satisfying to be back on the bike. It felt like I kind of gained a good relationship with the bike
Yeah.
because I was a bit too cooked from summer, which was a really hard summer. And while I still wanted to ride, I also enjoyed just not being able to go out. So staying at home, cooking, spending time with my girlfriend. And when I got back, it was sunshines and flowers all the way. It was really nice. Yeah. And you can always adapt everything to the program, right? You can
Yeah.
maybe just hold a week more and then you just take a week off, or you just allow the athlete to just ride whatever they want to do.
Yeah, everybody is different. There are athletes that get motivation from structured training.
Mhm.
So unless they don't have a structured training plan or week or workout, they won't do it. Like if I put an optional type of
Yeah.
workout, they will not do it.
It's yeah.
If they can skip it, they
Yeah,
will
yeah, of
skip it.
course. I see, I see.
So everybody is
Mhm.
different. They get dopamine from different things.
Yeah.
For someone is finishing a structured training. For another one is doing
Mm.
uh, f- let's say a bike camp type of.
In the end, it just goals. It's just finding what do you like, what keeps you going, and you just work with it. I don't know. Just we set many ways to find your goals in the first episode of Training Basics,
Yeah.
and I think that if you can keep working towards those goals, motivation will come by itself. It's important to have a clear mindset as well. Understanding that sometimes your goals can also be, if you don't have the goal set accordingly, let's say that you overestimate what you can achieve, then you can also burn yourself. So goals can be,
They have to be challenging,
mm,
not over challenging, but not under challenging. Uh, it should be like a sweet spot,
mm,
but it's always better to overestimate a bit the
slightly.
goal. Yes, slightly.
Because if I tell you my goals, you will say me no. No, and this it's also like if you write the goals on a paper, just pay attention how you write them. Just don't make them really limiting so that
Yeah,
there's no room for, like, maybe I don't get to 5 watt per kilo in an hour, but okay, if I do 45 minutes, how bad is it? It's
yeah.
still 50 minutes, but 45 minutes can be a really solid effort. And if it's challenging for you, even better. And that will, the mindset can also affect you in a workout. Let's say if you do 4x4 and you just don't finish the first block, and you're just, I'm not gonna make it. It's gonna be really hard. And I remember I spoke about this on a previous episode on one of the wrap ups, that I had a VO2 session, and not until I started the VO2, I was telling myself, my legs are not feeling the best. It's gonna be really hard. Just you have to do it, but it's gonna be really hard. And while it wasn't really limiting, it was limiting.
Yeah,
Like I started the session thinking that it was all gonna be really hard, which it was, but
it
it's
got
better.
harder.
Yeah, it got even harder because mentally I wasn't there. So you can always prepare yourself to, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll be able to do it. I know the goal of the workout. I know what I have to do. It's not always about the what. It's not always about the time. It's just know the goal and then just work through it on the workout.
Also, you can find motivation during a workout like that just by having a song that you like and
Yeah.
put it for the 4 minutes
Yeah,
that you're pushing.
you listen a lot to songs. I usually don't train with music.
I have an entire uh, thing that I do for my workouts.
An
That
entire setup. Okay.
yeah, like every time.
Especially hard workouts.
Yes, and it works.
No, of course.
Most of the time, it works.
Most of the Olympic athletes speak about this, having the
Yeah,
session and everything set up. So when, I don't know, I think it was Michael Phelps, but not until he got into the trampoline, everything was like
yeah.
prepared. So he knew what he would have to do, everything. So,
That also helps you get into the mindset,
hmm,
and that mindset that came to you before the workout, you don't have that
yeah,
because your mind is somewhere else. It's not
yeah.
thinking about it's gonna be hard. It's
So,
thinking, I'm pumped. Let's go.
do you want to work us through your plan, or
Yeah,
as
I
an
have
example?
for different type of efforts or
Yeah.
workouts, I have different habits and things
Mm,
that I do. So, for example, if I have a VO2 session, like a hard workout,
yeah.
I usually do like my motivational playlist before that until I get to the actual place where I do the intervals.
Yeah.
Then for the warm up, I put the main
Song or
songs.
okay.
I have 2 or 3 songs that have high BPM and
Hmm.
help me get into the session. And I know I have to push on that song. Like my mind knows.
Well, it's a habit. You've been doing it for so
Yes.
long that whenever it comes, it.
And right after the warm up, which is like 2 to 3 minutes, then I lower the volume, I put the chill song, I recover, then I go down, and when I start the actual block,
Hmm.
I turn all the way up the volume, and I
Hmm.
put the 2 or 3 songs that they go over and over.
That's cool.
That helps me, and it also helps me with pacing because I know the first song is
Yeah.
2 minutes 30, then I have 10 seconds where I have to push without no music because
Hmm.
there's an
Yeah.
intro and so on.
Well, it also helps your mind be somewhere else
Yes.
instead of the pain that you feel in the legs.
Yeah.
For me, it's a bit different. Like I usually listen a lot before the workout, so when I'm getting dressed.
Yeah.
The thing is that even when I was training in the gym, when I was doing powerlifting, which was really hard effort but really short, it was the same. Like I wouldn't listen to anything during the actual set. I, I I usually bring the AirPods with me in case I want to listen to music, but I usually always finish the workout having removed the AirPods. I don't know. I kind of feel better just fully focused on myself and not listening to anything else. But scientifically, to the majority of people, they should be benefit from music.
I actually do the same thing for the races or when I have a hard group ride. I put the music before,
Mm.
not during. During, you cannot hear anything, so
Yeah, that's true.
it's useless.
No,
But the bad part about having music is that maybe your phone is out of battery or your headphones.
yes.
You will not finish the
And then
workout.
you rely a lot on the music, right?
Yes. I remember I had a VO2 session and I forgot to charge the headphones. And it was one of the hardest VO2 sessions that I did. And that was not a hard workout.
Well, you can maybe use the speaker of the phone,
Yeah.
but for you, I guess it's not the same that you are really used to it. No, actually, I was trying to find a song for the TT. It's coming close, so I want to have a song that I listen just even if it's an hour. I for this week, let's say I have on Wednesday and Friday, it's easy on the bike. So before getting on the TT, just listening to that song and getting used to it. Like before the TT, it's always this song and listen to it. I don't know as many times as I need, and that will set me up for the TT. And now it's whenever you hear it, it's like okay, I'm gonna try it on the TT.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that you can work, try it. In the end, it's just music. It's not harmful, and then it just fume.
Yeah. Uh, I actually know the BPM part from the cycling, so spinning,
Mhm.
because I also have a spinning
Yeah, you
instructor.
told me.
And there you also learn about music and BPM and
Mhm.
how you can match your certain effort uh, with with the music. And if you don't have the right BPM
Mm.
for that effort, it might be challenging.
Mm. Yeah, like I don't know how would somebody, let's say, would listen to a reggae song during a VO2.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, but I know someone who does. So yeah.
You can find motivation through food if that's a good thing,
True.
or a certain coffee
Mm.
that you're aiming for during the ride.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not the best day, but you know you have a warm coffee
Yeah.
at Bigiga,
Yes.
and you manage to do maybe 4 hours, two
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
and back just to get the coffee. And since you did the training, that's a win for that
Yep.
day. Even if you don't really have the motivation, you can find the motivation or a cake if that's a thing. I
Mm.
have athletes that they are motivated of eating on the bike because uh, they optimize their
Yep.
nutrition around the bike. So instead of eating their sweet thing that they are craving for outside the bike, they usually do it before or
Yeah.
during the
We do
ride.
it before.
Yeah. So that could be a
Yeah.
motivation. Food can also
Mm.
be a good motivation. So you can also find motivation by mixing different cycling disciplines. For example, maybe you're a road racer, but maybe from time to time it's worth changing a bit,
Hmm.
doing
Gravel
like,
or TT.
yeah, gravel, mountain bike, go on the TT bike,
Hmm.
just focus on the position, don't think about the watts. Or that could also add diversity and help your mindset a bit. Not having it can also help actually with your fitness, because pushing in the same position over and over again, your
Hmm.
muscles, your main muscles
Yeah.
uh, get fatigued. So changing a bit, it can be a great boost motivator for your body and for your mind as well.
I think it's uh usually we like most of the people speak about motivation, but they don't pay as much attention to it as they should. Like it's really hard to stay focused. And nowadays we see a lot of influencers and people saying that by 25 you have to own half of your country. And that can also, that's not good. So I think that you have to understand that it's a process. It takes time. You have to enjoy it as well. Otherwise, you're just gonna cook yourself. It's not gonna last long. And from my experience, all the sports that I've done, I've just always wanted to be the highest level possible. Like in powerlifting, I had to be the guy at the gym that did the most. And that was really taxing. Like I was the best. And then I said, no, no, I don't want anymore. That can cook you. So for a sport that I was really enjoying it, once I did my goals, I was so cooked that I said, no more. Same with bodybuilding. And now on the bike, I've kind of experienced the same, but I've been lucky enough to stop, or even injuries have made me stop. And then you just appreciate more the building process, everything that you work through, all the rides, just understanding that you can go out with your weakest friends or even with your grandparents that they just ride at snail pace. And that's even as good as it will not limit you from
Yeah.
achieving your goals. You also need to enjoy it and having that mental aspect, let's say calm, you having a calm mind, it will make sure that when motivation dips, you will most likely be fine from my experience.
Yes, I agree. One trick that I'm doing when I don't have the motivation to ride, it's exactly this.
Think about the hand.
No, think about you being injured.
Yeah.
You have nothing. You're good to go. The weather is good. Just go ride.
Mhm.
You might have a day 2 weeks from now that you want to ride and you can't.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that. Or if the weather is bad, I'm like, well, yeah, the weather is not great. Maybe it's cold or it's a bit rainy, or but you would go out if you would be injured right now, or if you had a flu.
Yeah.
You would like to go out
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if
of course.
it's a bit windy, or so go and do it.
Mhm. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Tomorrow, Tour of Flanders. Um, what I mean, another classic, a really nice classic in the cobbles. Um, there's nothing to say on the route. It's always the same.
Yes.
But we're starting the hardest classics now, if you ask me.
And we have the big three joining.
Yeah.
So that's Matthew, Van der Poel, Pogacar, and Van Aert.
You don't consider Mats uh, a guy to.
He's a good sprinter, but probably on
He's
the,
always there. He's always there. He
yeah.
was in Matthias wheel 2 weeks ago in E3. I don't know if he can hold the wheel, maybe. But yeah, let's say our predictions as usual. I think this one is pretty clear, at least for me. You said in the when we were speaking about it that you want it. You don't think it's that, but yeah, I think Mattia is going to take an easy win. He just trains for the classics. It's his thing, and in the just it last year? Yeah, last year in Paris Roubaix, where he was just doing 60 on cobblestones. Like what the fuck? And the cobblestones are not like Girona's cobblestones. It's like
Yes,
a rock in the middle. Yeah, it's insane. So
I wonder what type of tires they will be using
yeah,
for this one
I
after.
actually looked when I was looking at the E3 race. Uh, from the camera, it looked really wide. His wheel looked really wide, but I don't know if it was a 40. It didn't seem that big to be a 40. Maybe it was 34. Yeah, 34 or 36. But maybe we see something if a guy from GCN or Cycling News go to the
Yeah, then they do like
yeah.
bike checks.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah, for me it's Mathieu. What about you?
Um, I would say Visma
Yeah,
has a really
Poggi
good team.
Poggi doesn't show up in UAE's lineup.
Yeah, he's the first one in Pro Cycling Stats, the one that you
I am in 20. No, are you in 2020?
five. See,
No, in the top competitors, yes, but if you go to the star list,
I'm on the preliminary start list.
then what was I looking at?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry.
Um,
Sorry for the confusion.
yes, I think Visma has a really strong team
Yeah.
for the classics. Let's see.
So are you going with Wood? That would surprise me. I've never seen you think that Wood would win anything.
Yeah, I would put my money on Wood for this one.
Okay, over Poggi.
Yes.
Hmm. Why is that?
I just think Visma has a stronger team
Okay.
for the classics.
Mm-hmm.
UAE has a better team for the Grand Tours for sure.
Yeah.
But for these type of races, I think if they can control the race from the
Hmm.
beginning, uh, they can make some damage
Yeah.
and then just get Wood in the best position that they can.
But if what if Poggi attacks? Do you expect he'll be able to go alone?
80 kilometers away from the finish line.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, well,
That for me, that's the scariest thing about Poggi. Um, it's so unpredictable, and well, maybe I don't know if Mattia. Well, I guess Mattia would also be able to follow his wheel, but yeah, it's hard to say. But for me, it's the hardest thing that Poggi can do. Like, I'm going.
I would say that maybe he cannot do that because it's not really a time trial if you leave early. You still have punchy climbs and
Yeah,
you cannot go as hard as when you have someone in your wheel.
yeah,
And if you go alone 80 kilometers from the finish,
yeah. It's really easy for the peloton to catch you.
yeah, it's I mean you're still very strong, but I
Mm,
don't know if you can stay with your mind in the game
yeah,
every short climb, push as hard as
yeah,
possible,
yeah.
treat it like a proper time trial. That's really hard doing that.
We'll see. We'll see. For me, I don't know. It's just Mattia is so powerful. It's if he's able to, and he, as you said in last episode, he got really smart in racing. So I mean, he's training for this. He's based his fame, let's say, especially in classics and obviously in cyclocross as well, but in the road ecosystem, let's say, he's the classics guy. Like it's the guy that you expect to win all of the classics. Um, so yeah, we'll have to see. One thing that I wanted to raise, if we were to speak about classics, is do you think that Poggi is risking a lot by racing in the cobblestones?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Not even in Paris Roubaix.
Depends on if the weather is fine. I wouldn't say he's risking that much. No.
Not terms in like, I don't want to say that he's losing fitness or anything, but
Yeah, just
crashing
like
it's so easy.
yeah,
Any issue it's so easy.
yeah. But if he has an issue, he already crashed.
Yeah, and he lost 7 minutes
Yeah.
to Jonas.
No, I meant in Strade Bianche when he crashed.
Well, but thankfully that was they were in cobblestones.
Yes.
I just specifically meant these races that involve cobblestones, that they ride so fast in the cobblestones.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to crash, and you will not crash into pavement, which would be better.
Yeah, but I think Tadej is good in this type of scenarios. Maybe he's not Matthew and
No, but
Van Aert,
uh,
but he was doing cyclocross when he was a kid.
hmm. No, I meant it in a way that there are things that you cannot control, and that may be the cause of you crashing.
Yeah, but that's for every race.
Yeah, of course, but not everyone is a contender for Tour de France.
Yeah.
I just, for me, it's this um, feeling that I don't really know if Poggi is really, he loves racing and he just wants to have fun. Let's leave it in a way. But Jumbo will come with everything to Tour de France this year.
Yes.
So how, like, I feel like he's risking a lot.
Yeah, but he's also he's getting the best training for the
Yeah, for
bigger
sure, for sure. No,
for the
no,
big races.
I'm not saying that his coach is bad, or obviously it's not. It's just the fact of risking crashing.
I wouldn't say it's more than any type of road race.
Mm. No, at the speed that they are riding, no, but I just a cobblestone.
For these people that are always in front, the risk is not that big.
Yeah,
If you are in the bigger teams and you can control the race and stay in front, it's not that bad as being at the end of the peloton and fighting for your life and
yeah,
fighting
yeah.
for a position.
On every turn, just going full gas
Yes.
with all the dirt and the smoke. We'll have to see. I'm excited for these classics. Finally, we've gotten rid of the most boring ones, which for me are Strade and Milan.
So your prediction is Mathieu.
Yeah, yes. Even though I'm a big Van Aert fan, but I really like Van Aert in Grand Tours.
He, yeah, but he's unlucky. He always
Yeah,
gets a
he's the unluckiest.
puncture or some sort of technical or yeah, that's true.
I don't know. We'll see.
But my money is on Wout van Aert. Yes, for this one.
Perfect. And then we'll have next one is, but we can speak about it in the upcoming podcast. Races.
But we also have our own Gironde,
We do, actually, yes. Maybe,
which is this Sunday.
which for those who don't know, it's one of the guys that works in Velodrome used to do that. Uh, uh, how do I say it?
Loop.
Yeah, the loop, and that basically looks like a lion, which is the lion of Girona. If you've been here, there's a square that's called Al Cul de la Lleona, and we do like a loop, which has a bit of gravel sections.
Yeah, and like bad roads, small
Yeah, and really,
lanes.
yeah. So it's organized by Velodrome, I think.
Yeah, with horse category. And,
Yeah,
it's a really nice ride. I think I did it
yeah, you did it last year.
last year.
Yeah, which I was supposed to be, but I was.
It's a really nice event. To get to know people, to
And get to know the area, because there
yeah,
are many back roads around here that are really nice, and
yes.
most of us never ride them. So if you are in Girona and you don't really know what to do on Sunday,
and you can also get like a really good workout because at
Yeah.
some point it gets
Hmm.
race type of effort,
Yes.
depending on the group that you're living with, because everybody can go
Yeah.
on their own.
It's not like a proper event, so you just
Yeah.
basically start in Norse category. Everybody leaves whenever have finished their coffee, and
Yeah,
I think then you can then have the idea is that you end up having lunch in Norse as well, and then you
at the end of the ride,
yeah
yes.
you just watch the race in Norse category.
Yeah, that's the idea. After you suffer a lot on the bike, then you can catch the finish of the actual race in horse category. And that's a great event.
Since we have a bit of time left, and we said that we would speak about it in the previous episode, and we didn't. Let's speak about shoes. You already mentioned that it was something that you were getting into it.
Yeah,
Now that you are injured and you don't have what to do with your time,
I went much deeper into shoes because of the
what?
bike fitting
But
courses that
it
I'm.
also started because you wanted to try a wider shoes with a nimble. No,
Yes, well, yeah,
you were
I,
looking for another shoes.
yeah, because I crashed the new ones that I have.
No, but I meant before changing to those that you decided to destroy in the first place, you were looking for another pair of shoes or not?
Not necessarily.
Ah,
I already have a wide version in
okay.
Shimano because of my feet, my bad feet. But yes, I would say the three key components on your bike are the contact points, are the handlebars, the saddle, and the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cleat shoe interaction
Yeah.
and everything. And you want these three to be as good as possible from a fitting standpoint for
Mm-hmm.
you. So you want to optimize these three.
And
Uh,
how do we optimize the shoes?
the first thing that you have to do is measure your foot,
Mm-hmm.
uh, both of them, because sometimes one of them it's longer.
Okay.
So you might be a 43 and a 42.5.
Okay.
So then what you do you take another two different sizes, or you move the cleat, or yeah, it depends. After you measure it, so you measure the length and the width of the foot, and then you also have to somehow measure the arc of your foot.
Okay.
uh, what happens if you don't have the right support for your arc during pedaling? What it can happen is that your when you're pushing, your knee goes inside
Okay.
the frame. So in order to stabilize your foot,
Mm-hmm.
you will have to compensate. It can be your abductors,
Yeah.
just like you're doing on the TT.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a reason. Also, a reason can be the crank being too long, so you're trying to
Yeah.
go sideways. But it depends on how you do the movement. Is it upwards, so when you're going back from the pedaling, or when you're pushing? If it's during the pushing phase, it's usually because you don't have enough support on your arc. So you should consider a shoe that has a good arc support, or some custom insoles, or
But I guess that has a good arc support based on your foot.
yes.
Not everybody has the same arc. Not everybody. And
No,
how
and
hard is it?
you might have a different
Yeah.
arc from one foot to another.
Yeah. And what's the best way to manage this? Or
Just take a piece of paper
hmm?
and you put the foot
Hmm?
on the paper,
Ah,
and
okay.
with a pen you do your form
Mm-hmm.
around the foot, and then you measure everything.
Okay.
Um, there are some calculators online, and you get your
Okay.
measurement. Then you go uh, for your favorite shoe that you want to use. Most of the brands, they don't offer you the width in their chart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they only give you the
Why is
the
that?
length. I don't know because they don't care. They cannot do multiple types of.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, maybe you can. I guess the best thing is to try them. How can?
If you can try them, yes,
Well, I
that's
mean,
better.
maybe not buy them, use them, and return them. But let's say that I go to a bike shop and there are many shoes. How can I just by putting the shoe on, more or less know if that shoe is too big or it's good for me? Like, is there any trick that we
Actually, trying them, it can feel comfortable, but when you're on the bike, it
can
might,
change?
yes.
So there's no actual way of testing it without being on the bike.
No, not really. That would be the perfect test to take them on a bike ride. But what I suggest is that you can take a good measurement based on your what you measured at home.
Okay.
Take a good bike shoe
Mm.
brand uh, that maybe also has the width on their chart
Yeah.
and use that. They also have different shoe finder type of app, or
Okay.
so you can also use that, or just go for a bike fitter that knows
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
about shoes. And
Well, and the other thing is to pick a shoes that has more, well, more allows the cleats to be in different positions. Like because there are many shoes that don't allow much movement, and the more movement the shoe allows, usually the better, and the more you can make out of the shoes.
and also most of the shoes, they don't have the cleat location is not enough further back.
Okay.
It's too far forward,
Mhm.
and that basically what can happen is that uh, you apply the pressure where you're not supposed to,
Ah, okay.
and then you can get like hot spots. That's one thing that happens, and the second one is that you're actually uh, increasing your crank length.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, so you want uh, as further back as you can,
Hmm.
in theory, unless you have an issue, and you want a shoe that fits you, because
Hmm.
most of the people, what they do, they put a shoe, they find it's too narrow, and that's uncomfortable, so they go one size up.
Ah,
And
okay.
when they go one size up, then the
Yes.
cleat location gets further
Further. Mm.
far forward, and then you actually you're not pedaling how you're
Yeah.
supposed to be pedaling in that shoe.
Now the question that everybody wants to know: top three shoes.
No, it's not.
Not that easy.
We can say brands.
Well, brands I meant. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I would say for most of the people, the best brand that you can buy, in my opinion, is Lake,
Okay.
because they have a really big range of shoes for different type of feet, and yeah, you can get like a climber type of
Mm-hmm.
shoe. You can get a really wide shoe. You can find laces, boa dials,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. They also come with some pressure relief points for certain people that have certain types of issues like bonies, uh, and that if the um, if you touch with your bony the outside of your shoe, that will hurt.
Okay.
So they come with like special relief parts that allow you to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be the first one, the lake. The second one would be, if you are a racer, I would say Bond, but you have to get it like really right.
Why do you say that?
Because the bond construction, they actually are like a bathtub. So it's a carbon bathtub
Yeah.
that goes around your foot,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they are very stiff and very light. But imagine having that carbon against your
Yeah.
bony or uh, your your foot being too narrow, too wide for the shoe. So yeah, because of the bathtub construction, if your foot is too wide, uh, you will have the foot
Hmm.
going against that carbon, which is really stiff, and doing that in the summer, that would
Yeah.
be horrible. But if you get the right sizing for you, I would say that they are really good shoes. And the third one, I would say, uh, if if you don't mind, uh, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on shoes, I would say go for a safe option like Shimano. They also have wide versions. They
Yeah.
have great, uh,
Range.
yeah, for the cleat positioning. Uh, you can find cleat shims as well.
Hmm.
Uh,
And they are sold everywhere.
yet
That's also
and and the insoles that they come with, they're
hmm.
they're better than 99% of the others. So if you don't want to spend 400 or 500 euro
Yeah.
for a shoe, you can get a Shimano.
Hmm.
And the worst, I would say, uh, the top three worst shoes, I would say it should be Specialized.
You think so?
Yes, because they assume that all people have um, their feet like that
Mm-hmm.
instead of normal, which is a thing. There are some people having that issue, and you need a bit of support in here
Okay.
just to compensate for that. But most of the knee collapsing is
Mm-hmm.
because of the arch support, not
Okay.
because your feet
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be like that. Um, but they have good cleat location,
You
if
can have
that's your
everything.
thing. Yes. Um, the cities, the cities are really bad.
I don't know the truth.
In Romania, everybody has
Ah,
cities.
okay.
It's an Italian brand. They make shoes that are very, very narrow.
Okay.
Uh, they are leather, and after some years, they get better because they stretch.
Hmm. But in the beginning, it's painful, right?
Yes, and the cleat location is really bad in cities, and yeah, no, that's a no. And the third, I would say any most of the Italian brands, I wouldn't pick one. Most of the Italian
Okay.
made shoes that mm, are very, very narrow
Hmm.
and stiff and racy. Most of the people don't need that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I mean, carbon stiffness for a shoe, because every brand has
Hmm.
that carbon level, whatever
Yeah.
score. That's not for performance.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
actually for comfort, because the stiffer the shoe,
Yeah.
the less movement you have,
Yeah.
and it's easier to not have hot spots on your foot.
That would be it for today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. This new setup has left us really good reviews. We're really happy as well with the how it looks, the sound. We're finally getting it. So yeah, just aside from that, most likely we will not be able to record an episode next week. So sadly, you won't have an episode 2 weeks. No, the week after this episode occurs, and
I don't think they can live without it.
No, no.
No.
We're really sorry for this, but we cannot change it. Now, jokes aside, we hope that you enjoyed it. As usual, leave a like, subscribe if you are not subscribed, and share it with your friends if you think it's worth it, which we hope it is. And yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Adeu.
Adeu.